Alrighty, my name is Jen. I am the customer success lead here at Surefront. I'm going to give about a minute or two to allow a couple more people who are registering to come onto the call. In the meanwhile, I will be discussing today how to set up your catalog structure, how to bulk upload multiple items into your catalog, and then how to send out your first quote. And we're also going to be taking a look at how that looks on your customer's end. For today, I have my lovely coworker Scott on the call, and if you have any questions, please submit it at the chat box at the bottom. He'll be readily available to answer any questions you may have. And if you have personal questions that are specific to your account, please feel free to click support at the top of your account and chat with us, and Scott will be readily available for that too. These webinars happen every 2 weeks on a Monday at 11 a.m. So the next one will be August 3rd. I'm just going to give it about 1 more minute to allow a couple more people to come on. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And today I will be using a self-sign-up user account, meaning a brand new account that you just barely signed on to with Surefront. A lot of times I get feedback from my users saying, you know, I've signed up for an account and I don't really know what checkboxes I need to cross off to really get to the point where I can negotiate with my customer. So today I'm going to give you what I feel is the most successful route. Luckily, our platform is so flexible that you're able to, if it doesn't go exactly the way I teach you, it's okay. It's flexible where we can come back, and I'll show you both options as well. So here on your main catalog page, we're going to click in the top left-hand corner, and we're going to, under administration, you're going to go ahead and click catalog management. So I wanted to get started with catalog management, and here we're going to set up your catalog structure. This may not be applicable to your business, but that's okay. I just wanted to show it if you wanted to get a little more organized within your catalog. So for main businesses and subcategories, here is where you will want to download it. On the left-hand side, you'll see an all file. And under this all file, what that says is that whenever you come onto your main catalog page, all your SKUs will be defaulted to this file so you can see all of it. But for businesses that are bigger and you need a little more organization, you can come here and you can nest it under it so you can see it and browse through your items quicker. On your right-hand side, you're going to have an assign sales rep button. And this is for if you have team members linked to your account and you need to link sole responsibility with the categories. And but if you do not have team members who are linked to your account, that's okay too, because this is just if you need it in the future, that's there for you. So I'm going to go ahead and get started by clicking create category. For today's example, I'm going to be using women's apparel. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in. And I'm going to go ahead and nest it and create it under the all file. Once I create it, on the left-hand side right here, you can see that women's apparel falls under all. And this will be applicable to any main department or category that you want to be shown in your drop-down menu on your main catalog page. But let's say for women's apparel, I have tops and bottoms. How do I nest it under women's apparel? So it's the same process. You're going to go ahead and click create category over here. I'm going to put tops. And instead of all this time, I'm going to go ahead and nest it under women's apparel. And this is just for an organizational view so you can better browse through your items. For today's demo session, I'm going to go ahead and include bottoms as well, because when we get to the bulk upload portion, I want you to be able to see the different subcategories you can bulk upload your items into. So I'm going to also nest this under women's apparel. And if your business is more complex and gets even more detailed than that, you can go ahead and nest it under its specific categories that are listed here on the side. I'm going to quickly head back to the catalog before we get to the bulk upload section, and I want to show you how it ends up looking. Now, we don't have any items right here on the main catalog page, and that's okay. But if you click all, you can see what we just created right now is now in this drop-down menu. When we're done with bulk uploading, I'm gonna reference this back and how you can better browse and search through your items. So next, I wanna head into bulk upload. So click the upload tab here at the top. Under useful links, go ahead and click catalog template CSV and download that in. I'm gonna open my downloads file. And then as you notice, it's a CSV file, and this is what we require for all uploads so you can be successful. For people who have Excel on their computers, you can go ahead and straight click into it and it will open up and you can input all the information that you need in there. For people who don't have Excel, you can still use the template, but I highly recommend to use the Google Drive. If you drag and drop that in and open it up, you can still save it as a CSV file for upload. I'm going to be taking the route today of Google Sheets, but if you're using Excel, you can go ahead and follow along. Go ahead and drag and drop that into your drive. Click it open. And in Excel, it should be the same view. So I'm just gonna add a couple of rows here at the bottom so it doesn't look too blank. Okay, so this is your CSV template. This is where you can bulk upload multiple SKUs into your catalog. Now I'm going to give you the tips and tricks today so you're better able to manage the CSV file and upload it with success. So unfortunately, you cannot delete any columns off of the CSV file, and the top 2 rows cannot be touched as well. But you see there's a lot of columns here, and a lot of feedback I get is, well, all these don't really apply to my business. In that case, for you to have a more condensed view, I recommend hiding the columns. You can go ahead and hide them, and even if you save it like that as well as a CSV, our systems will still take it in. I understand that not all columns are applicable, so go ahead and hide it to your best viewing and go ahead and fill out the information. I'm just quickly going to go back to a template I already filled out for today. And I'm going to explain the columns that are required, that are optional, and a couple other tips that you may need while filling this out. So in the 3 main required columns in your bulk upload will be item number, parent number, and then the product category ID. And that is columns B, C, and D. Now, for item number and parent number, you're wondering what's the difference? The reason why we split this out is for businesses that sell sets within their products. So for instance, an example would be in home, if you sell hampers and have a set size of 3 for large, medium, and small, you're gonna wanna depict that in its product details page. Instead of uploading these 50 to 70 items and then having to go back individually to input that large, medium, and small sizing, you can do it here straight in your CSV file. What I recommend, this is a correct example of how it'll look if this applies to your business. And what it's saying here in your parent item number is that my main style number is going to be hamper. So that's going to be the same in this column. In your item number, you want to link it with the sizes you're about to put in. So I would put in hamper here as well. And then what it's saying after that when you're doing that is I want to link it to my main style hamper, but I'm going to put hamper large, hamper medium, and hamper small. So when you go and upload this in, it tells our system, do not create brand new SKU numbers off of this. Will all be linked together as one. And so this is an example of how you would do it if this applies to your business. Now, if this does not apply and you don't have sets to sell, I would recommend just copying and pasting it, as you can see from my upload today, straight through and straight down in each column. It will be the same and it's linked. For the last required column for your CSV template is the product category ID. This column requires a number, and to find that number, I'm quickly going to go back to the upload page. And under your upload page, you can see right here you have a category ID reference. If you go ahead and click it, this is the category structure we just created in the catalog management. If you want to get detailed and just put it in bottoms or tops, for my example that I'm using, I'll go ahead and put it in that. But for people who don't need this and don't necessarily have a big enough business where you need that organization just yet, go ahead and you'll always use the number all to put in that column, and you'll drag and drop it down for how many ever styles you input into your CSV file. So I'm gonna just quickly fill out mine since we just created it. I'm gonna copy that number in. And then I'm just gonna fix this at the top. So, perfect. So there you go. These are the 3 required columns that you'll need for a successful upload: item number, parent number, and product category ID. All other columns will be optional, and you don't need to fill them out unless it's applicable to your business. One optional column I do want to point out that I feel will be very helpful for when you go ahead and bulk upload is the column BG, image file name. And in the image file name, I always recommend to name it the same as your parent item number. And I say that because what you're telling this column is these are the names of my photos. So when you go and drag and drop that CSV first, and then you go ahead and drag and drop the photos after, it will link it to its correct style number. And I know my customers have found success if the image file name and the parent item number are the same. If your photos are already named and you just don't want to go through the hassle of renaming them, that's okay too. Just put the correct style number from your uploads file and put it in this BG column. I've went ahead and filled out a couple other optional columns just to input it in. So when we bulk upload, I'm gonna go ahead and click into the product details page to show you how it looks once that information is all set and done. So what I'm going to do is, for Excel users, you're gonna go ahead and click File, Save As, and click the download template. Or for you guys, it would be File, Save As, and save it as a CSV file. For people following me along on the Google Sheets, it will be File, Download, CSV. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm back here at my upload template, and I'm gonna go ahead and submit it on through. Perfect, successfully uploaded 8 out of 8 products. Then I'm gonna come here to my file where I have all my photos, and as you can see, what I had listed in that image BG column for the image file names is what I renamed all my styles here. So I'm gonna go ahead and select all of this and drag and drop it in. Now I will say it does take a slighter bit delayed depending on how many SKUs you're uploading. It might take a slighter bit delayed just because our system's correctly trying to connect the pictures and images along with it. So what I wouldn't do is exit out of this tab because it stops your upload. But for people who are using Chrome, I would right click and duplicate the page. And here on the page, you can go ahead and click your left menu panel and get to quotes or any other information you had to fill out just to kill the time while the photos are uploading. Perfect. 8 out of 8 items have successfully uploaded. Now let's head back to the catalog. And there you go. Any new uploads, all those items will appear at the top of your catalog. I don't have a lot, but you can see under the style numbers which files those items fell into. But as you continue to bulk upload and you get to the point where you're passing a couple of pages where you can't always spot check that, a great way to spot check it would be to look in your all file and go directly into the file itself. So if I wanted to check in bottoms, I can see all my bottoms fell in the correct place. There's no tops that I accidentally, wrote the wrong product category ID in. It's all right here for you to see. And then you could do that as well with tops. What I want to do is click into the style product details page. And you can see here, it uploaded my description, the color, the MOQs. It has the pricing right here on the side. If I ended up getting more information after my bulk upload, I can come straight into here and fill out the rest and save it. And that also applies if I wanted to add multiple images as well. So now that we've uploaded a couple of items, I wanted to go ahead and send out your first quote. So I'm gonna go ahead and select a couple of items for us to send out. I'm gonna click sell at the top, then I'm gonna go ahead and click quote. You're gonna be required to fill out 3 fields: customer, freight terms, and quote names. For customers, even if your customer has not created an account with Surefront just yet, they will still receive it. And that's what I'm gonna show you once we send out this quote. For now, the only option you should have is default, unless you went into your customer connections and created unlinked customer files where you can organize it and put those quotes in. But if you're okay with the quotes falling into a main folder of your default, then go ahead and just select that for now. The next field will be freight terms. The options here will be domestic collect, domestic prepaid, and import. Some feedback I've received recently that I want to relay back to you guys is sometimes I received, well, Jen, all my items are in the warehouse. This necessarily doesn't apply to me. I don't really need this, but what should I select going forward? Well, my recommendation is to select import, and that's because you will be dealing directly with unit cost and unit price. With domestic collect and domestic prepaid, you do deal with duty and freight. And there can be a couple of typos when you select those in terms of if you have another team member and they've uploaded items with the freight filled out and then that gets put onto your quote. Or changes could happen while you are uploading as well if it's just you on your account. So I recommend if you're dealing straight with unit cost and unit price, go ahead and select that import option. And quote name is self-explanatory. Just fill it out to whatever quote name you would like to send it out to. Create the quote, and then you are redirected to the quote itself. And as you can see in the top left-hand corner, it has fell into the default folder, which you will be able to find your other quotes once you get them sent out. Here, you can fill out all that's applicable. I'm gonna go ahead and fill out quantity just to show the customer how much stock we have in. You can also see right here that unit cost and unit price are filled out due to my bulk upload. But if you wanted to adjust the pricing and what you're gonna sell it to them for, you can go ahead and do that here. I can also see my margins and play around with my margins if I don't see what I like here. What I do want to relay is that unit cost will not get relayed to your customer. That is internal information, as I don't think you would want your customers seeing how much you produce this item for. And so that information will not get relayed. I will show you on the customer end how it gets flipped and how they see it on their end and what information is internal to them as well. So at the top, let's click send. A pop-up box comes out and you're gonna go ahead and select, we'll type out your email that you would like to send it to. As you can see, I tabbed and it's gray, and just a friendly tip right here. If it's gray, you're good to go. Our systems will send it through, but if it's red, you have a typo and our systems will not be able to send it through successfully. So I would definitely check on that, just in case you were wondering. You can send a copy to yourself if you'd like as well. And once you're done, go ahead and click send. In the top right-hand corner, you'll see here I received green notifications. And what this is telling you is that you've successfully sent out your first quote. I'm gonna go ahead now and switch to the customer view. There you go. Perfect. So as a customer, I've received your quote and now I'm in my inbox and I'm taking a look. So it does say from Surefront, but once they click the header, they can see that over here, it's sent from the person that is sending the quote and from the company as well. They do not need a login information or permissions required to view it. Simply, they just have to click view quote and they're going to be redirected straight into the quote itself. Here, they can go ahead and heart their favorite items. They can go ahead and change the line view, and they'll see the quantity that you've inputted and sold to them. Now, this is what I was talking about when we were filling out your quote, is on their end, it gets flipped. So you sold it to them for your unit price. So in turn, it switches off for them to see it as their cost. So they have the option as well to determine their margins and put in their retails to see if everything works out to them. Unit price will not get relayed back to you, as that's your customer's internal information. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly just click into the product details page. And while they're in here, they can also click on color. They can leave you a message. And any updates they make on their end, you will receive a red dot notification on your page to show you how it looks on your end. If we come back over here to the quote, you can see right here, there's a chat box, and this is lifetime for them as well. They can respond back to you. Hey, I've just received this. And they could send it back to you so you can get the updates. Any updates that your customer makes on their end, you will receive it back on your end as a red dot notification. And last but not least, they can go ahead, select all the images, and then go ahead and click order. Just as your quote gave you the green confirmation in the corner, they will too, and it will redirect them to the order to fill out further information. And there you have it. We've filled out how to set up your catalog structure, how to bulk upload multiple items, how to send out your first quote, and you even got to see how it looks on your customer's end. While I can sit here and chat your ear off, I just want to quickly check back in the chat box to see if anyone has submitted a question really quickly. Okay, I don't see that anyone's submitted a question or a topic discussion. You can definitely submit it. Even if we get off this call, you can reach out to us at support at the top and chat with us. You can submit a question pertaining to your account or a topic discussion. These webinars are held every 2 weeks on a Monday at 11 a.m. And the next one will be August 3rd. So if that's it, I'm going to end this training webinar. I know it was short, but if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. It was a pleasure training you today. So thank you. Have a great day.